there! If you're here, that means I didn't quite get to your reading last night, but we're here now and we're gonna do your readings. Your timestamps are in the description. I hope that you enjoy it, and thank you for choosing me as your psychic and for your patience. We'll see you there. Alrighty. Okay, so first up we have Diana. Hi there, Diana. Your timestamp is 17. You said, hey Ram, I have been through a lot this year and I'd love a general reading on what I can do to get to a better place. I'm currently unhappy with life and I'd love to know what I need to do. First of all, I want to say you have a really beautiful name. I love your name. It always reminds me of Princess Diana, but you know, there's also Goddess Diana. I just like it. It's a good energy kind of name. God bless your parents. Okay, let's see what we have coming in, and we'll have a general reading. So let's see what we have coming in for general for you. And I'm sorry you're not in the best of places right now. I hope that you can find more peace. You know, I think the music's a little loud, isn't it? Let's turn that down. There we go. Alright, what do we have coming in for Diana? What's their challenge? What's their advice? Okay. You have... Oh, the tower! Oh my goodness! You haven't gone through it! Oh my gosh, the good news is this is in the past. Alright, the tower represents unwanted change. It also means foundations were not healthy, so they needed to come crashing down. It also is a sign that spirit is making space, making way, kind of clearing off the energetic table, and right, like the physical table, so that you can have more blessings come in, or just energies that suit you more because we've matured past our reality that we were in prior. Now, you also have your focus be your current energy as the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords represents someone who's learning, someone who has questions, someone who's observing and absorbing a lot of information. So this is actually really good to see. I think that you're trying to figure out, you know, why did this happen? How can I prevent this? What went wrong? Where were the red flags? You know, this is someone who's genuinely wanting to learn from their mistakes. I really like to see this. I always tell people, as smart as the King of Swords is, they still have to have that Page of Swords energy of knowing that they have to question themselves in order to continuously grow. So I see a lot of growth happening. I see a lot of understanding coming in, and so if you have questions, just know that they will be answered. We have your future being the Death card. I hate to break it to you, Diana, we do have more changes coming in. That's maybe not what we want to see, but once again, I feel that it's completely necessary. So first, we had Spirit, the universe, including you, breaking down what is no longer working for you so that you can build a better garden, you know, make a more stable home, have better footing. And in the future, we have the Death card, and this is transformation, this is rebirth, this is a maturation. And so we're letting go of the old for good. We're not going back, and we're transitioning into a new time, a new era. And so this can often be both slow and dramatic. Does that make sense? So the energy feels that things are changing, but because we're maturing, right? Like, look how he's enlightened. Look how he understands that things must go in order for us to make way for a new harvest. There's still that's a better way to put it. It's a slow process, but it is intense. And so just know you're going to be doing a lot of inner work. You're going to be doing a lot of inner transformations. If you need to cry, right? This is you allowing yourself to cry. I will say, you know, usually these Arcana cards can represent a season in our life. So look forward to this in the next 2 to 3 months. But this is something we need, by the way, in order to bring change, in order to bring in energies that we prefer. And so I see people leaving. I see you saying no more. I see you putting up healthier boundaries. You know, this is also you understanding that you can pivot anytime that you want to. You don't have to wait for someone's permission. You don't have to see if it's okay, right? Like, you don't have to you don't have to always be the same you. You can be a different version of yourself any moment at any time. And that power can be really fun, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I've towered my life a lot. I'm a Sagittarius, so we like to do this. We like to go, all right, I'm bored. Let's go to the next part. And we're just kind of like, yippee, things are over. But I do think that you are going to have a clearing happening that just makes sense for you. And so it might be intense emotionally, especially intuitively, right? Because of the Scorpio energy. But just know it's something that you called in. It's something that is what's best for you because of the maturation. So your challenge is the Fool card. They're telling you to start a new chapter. And just know that my challenge card, this is the mountain we must climb. This is what's at the top of the summit. And so when we reach the top, right, we get through this kind of period, we're going to go into the Fool. And this is something that gets us towards our highest path, which is why I say it's something we should strive for, we should climb for. And the Fool tells us that we should embrace the unknown, we should be excited about where we're going, we should have fun in the moment, we should know that once again we can change anytime, at any place, any moment. You can say to yourself, all right, I'm sorry, that's the old Diana, she can't come to the phone right now, she's dead. Like like it's that kind of energy. We also have your advice card being the King of Wands. They're telling you to be confident. They're telling you to know that you can handle anything at any time. The King of Wands is also someone who goes, all right, I see my reality for what it is, I understand it, I can make this work, right? That's the kind of confidence they have. They don't take no for an answer. If one road is blocked, they know that there's many other roads that they could go down to get to their manifestation, like to get to the energy that they prefer. And so, yeah, are you going through a lot of changes? Change. Yes. Okay, yes. And they're saying, hey, this is actually what's best for you. And this is actually a really exciting time. And you should embrace this with a lot of confidence and excitement and passion, because we're clearing the way. And it's up to you what you want to do next. Literally the world is your oyster. So that's kind of what I see incoming for you, Diana. Are you going to be in a better place? Absolutely. The Death card is yes. You're looking for big changes. Big changes are coming in. You're looking for this old chapter be over. Well, the Tower and the Fool is saying, yep, it's over. It's coming to a close. And so I like to see that. I think you're gonna have a much better 2026. So thank you very much, Diana. I hope that you enjoyed that. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. Remember that you are never alone and you are loved. Thank you. See you later. Why, hello there, Mirajane. Thank you so much for trusting me with your reading. I hope that it's worth the wait. I hope that you enjoy it. You wrote, hi Ron, may I have a love or career reading? We can pull for a little bit of both. I've been single since birth and I have no luck in love. I'm finally pursuing my passion and I'm worried if I'm overthinking myself that I can't get in a relationship. Thanks and late congrats on finally moving out. Thank you. Thank you, Vera. Yeah, let's see what we got coming in for love for you. I want you to know, don't try to rush love. I don't know how old you are, but genuinely, sometimes if we're single, it's a blessing in disguise, right? Like, we're able to focus on ourselves. We're able to learn more about ourselves, figure out what it is that we want. Obviously, experience is important when it comes to love, but don't knock the experience you're getting from being alone, because a lot of people cannot stand being single, and they'll just jump into relationship after relationship and get hurt and get have a lot of trauma happen to them. And so you say that you haven't had any luck in love, but I see someone who has, right, like somebody who knows themselves. I see somebody who has up healthy boundaries, right, knows what they're into. So you've got your own strengths there. Don't feel bad about it. Let's see what we got. We got the Devil. We have a lot of fear coming up when it comes to love. We're scared. We don't know what it's like. We've heard all these horror stories about people. Yeah, you know, the devil's in the past though. So we have your current energy being the Nine of Wands. This is persistence and perseverance. This is fighting through a battle and coming out victorious. It's a battle well fought, right? And so it is a sign. This is always a sign, especially next to the Devil card, that we're going to overcome a big fear. We're going to move out of an old time, and we're going to push ourselves into a victory, into a win. And we have the Queen of Wands coming up, so this actually represents somebody who is very beautiful, very creative, very expressive. I think you're already this energy, but this is taking it to a new level when it comes to love. So, you know, this is you saying to yourself, I want to feel beautiful because I am beautiful, or I want to be creative, I want to be expressive, I want to be authentic, but I know that if I want to find love, I have to talk to people. And so this is having the confidence in order to, you know, get yourself out there and just try it, and being okay with rejection. It doesn't matter, they're not meant for me. Being okay with you know, some failures here and there. It's what happens, it's not a big deal. I'm the Queen of Wands. They couldn't handle my light, they couldn't handle my fire. They're not meant to rule my kingdom with me, and that's fine. And so, you know, I think a lot of this is exposure therapy. You know, sometimes we just sit and we wait for the right moment or the right person to pop into our life, but sometimes genuinely taking more of the reins, taking more of the helm can help us you know, get the experience that we need in order to know how to attract the energies that we do prefer. And so I do see in the future, at least personally, you putting in more of like a direct efforts into meeting more people, talking to more people, joining communities, maybe doing extracurriculars, you know, whatever the case may be, just so that you can get the experience, right? Like it's an energy of whatever happens, and I'm just excited to be here and have this experience, and so I like it. I wouldn't, you know, I don't know how old you are, Mira. If you're like in your early 20s, you know, as long as you're an adult, like over 18, I think you are. Maybe try speed dating. I don't know if you live in a big city, but speed dating is making a big comeback where I live, because, not that I've done it, but I have friends who are doing it, and they're having a great time, you know. They get to meet new people, they get to get the vibe, they get to go to a social outing. Now, that's not something that you're into, right? Like, you know, you can try the apps, you can try whatever. Just what's important is that you're saying, hello people, I'm ready to be met, and I want to see what happens. So we have your challenge being the Ace of Wands, right? Taking action, exactly what we said earlier. And your advice card is the Knight of Wands. Once again, don't take it so seriously. Genuinely just enjoy yourself. You know, we don't have to look for Mr. Right. I'm not trying to say that you should play with people. I'm saying that you should just enjoy yourself and see what happens. And I have a feeling, you know, you're on the youthful side. You know, I just have the feeling, and even if you're not, you know, even if you're 30 plus, this is just an energy of you saying, you know, I just want to go out, I just want to have fun, I just want to see what sticks, right? You know, the Knight of Wands is just throwing stuff at the wall because it's fun, because they're enjoying themselves, and a lot of it does work. You know, all of these Wands energies, these are people who are really lucky. Fire signs are very lucky when it comes to love, and so that's what I see incoming in the near future for love for you. When I say near future, like the next, you know, 3 to 4 months. So let's see what we have coming in for career. What do we have for career for you, Mira? Ooh, the Hangman. We've noticed something new. We've noticed that we need to let go of something, and we're actually making that transition into that new time, that new era, or that new way of being and thinking. If you're looking for a job, just know that a new opportunity is incoming. If you're not looking for a job, this can also mean that right? Like we're cutting off things that just really stress us out. We're doing better time management. But this can also mean that we meet somebody who helps us, right? Like if you're not looking for a job, this can also mean like, oh, you know, someone new is here and I really get along with them. If you own your own business, this can also mean that we're getting very serious. We're looking at things from a very serious point of view, right? Like this is what I need to do. No more playing around, no more funny business. And it actually leads you to a lot of opportunity and growth. So your challenge is at 3 of Swords. I don't know why, I get this feeling that sometimes we struggle to actually get going, get started. Spirit's telling me that we need to learn how to love every day, including our work. And I know it's hard to do. I actually just did a joy spell to be more excited and have a little bit more energy when I'm propelled into my work. And your advice card popped out. We got the 6 of Pentacles. This represents asking for help, asking for advice, looking for opportunities as well. You know, the 6 of Pentacles means giving and receiving help. It's reciprocity. And so we want to be in an energy where I get in what I pour out. And if work right now just feels so draining, ask yourself, you know, because we are in a moment of letting go of things that just really take a lot from us so that we can feel more healed and we can feel more taken care of. So ask yourself, right? What is no longer suiting me? And what can I do to make my work more enjoyable? Because when we love something, it really honestly does love us back. So thank you very much, Mira. I hope that you enjoyed that. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. Remember that you are never alone and you are loved. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello there, Nat. Hi. Thank you so much for trusting me as your reader. I hope that you enjoy it. And, you know, just remember, the future isn't set in stone. If you get a reading that you don't like, it's not, you know, it's not absolutely 100% gonna happen. I do think it's most likely outcome, but that's what I believe. You don't have to believe the same thing. And you said, hi, Ron. I hope you're doing good. I wanted to get a love reading as the love life has been sad. Love your lives. Thank you. Always enjoy. Oh, I'm sorry. Things have been sad for you. Yeah, it's hard out here, isn't it? Let's see what we get for you. What's going on in love for Mr. Nat? Or Miss Nat? Sorry, I don't know. I don't know your gender. Let's see what we got. Cool. Well, we have in the past a 6 of Swords. Oh, that's good to see. And we have the future being the 8 of Swords. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. So it's so interesting because I can tell that you've been doing a lot of work and love to 1, get yourself out there, 2, let go of a lot of fear, 3, do your best to move on from the past. And the good news is you have done a lot of work and you are, you know, you're in a different time, you're in a different era when it comes to love, right? Because the 6 of Swords means letting go, moving on, going to a new island, right? Looking for a different way of replenishing yourself. And so I think you've learned a lot of lessons. I think you understand what it is you're looking for in a partner now too. I will say the 10 of Cups is a current energy, and this is pretty good. The 10 of Cups represents fulfillment. It also means that we're surrounded by people that love us. Now, does that mean there's a lot of fresh pickings when it comes to love? Well, this is more of an energy, and we always read everything together. And I will admit that your challenge is the 5 of Swords. So I always tell people this, you know, I get this in love reading a lot. It represents the brainworms, you know. I'm not handsome enough, I don't have enough money, or girlfriends are expensive, boyfriends are expensive, they're going to find out that my mom and dad are divorced and they're gonna think that we're gonna get divorced, you know. It's all of these fears, these brainworms, these beliefs that a lot of times our parents gave to us or our exes gave to us, that we still have some time to kind of move past that. I will say, you know, the 10 of Cups can also mean community. It can also mean family and stuff like that. I think that we are genuinely looking to find someone to start like a real life with. I don't know how old you are, but this is an energy of someone who doesn't play, right? Like I'm looking for my wife. I'm looking for my partner to be with forever. I'm looking for my soulmate. And so this is a really good energy to be in. I just kind of see these like fears, these negative beliefs, these ideas, this negative information really get to you, because we have in the future the Eight of Swords, and this represents self-imposed restrictions. So what does that mean? That means that we're stopping ourselves from the opportunity coming towards us. It's like, oh, I can't leave my room. I can't leave my room. No one can look at me. I've gained 10 pounds. Or oh, I don't have any money. I can't go to that event. I don't have any money. You know, it's stuff like that that makes it we like stop ourselves, right, from actually meeting people. I do think that you have every good intention. I also have this, you know, I have this feeling that you're a good person, right? Anytime you have the Ten of Cups in our energy field, it means that we're not playing in our relationships. You probably I get this feeling because of this energy that, you know, maybe you only have a couple best friends. You know, you probably don't go to giant parties. You probably don't, you know everybody in town, and that's okay. But sometimes we need to exude a little bit more of that extrovert energy in order to meet people. Not that you've never met people before, right? Like I do see that you've had some, you know, at least some experience. We have your advice card being the Four of Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles means gripping onto something, holding on to something, and seeing all these cards about like, man, I'm trying to move on, I'm trying to make a transition, I'm trying to move to a new period. I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for, but having these like negative beliefs come up, or these fears, or this idea. This can also mean being a little bit too stubborn, like, oh, I can't talk to that girl with glasses, I hate glasses. You know, it's stuff like that. These are things that are gonna pop up that we have to realize, like, you know, we're not just letting ourselves enjoy, have an experience. We're not letting ourselves just be present and seeing what happens. We're stopping ourselves before even getting on the train even. That's not to say that you haven't tried in love, you know. As I mentioned before, you absolutely have. It's just in the future, you might find yourself saying like, man, I really need to put that sword down. I'm tired of fighting. So let's see what we got coming in. Yeah, let's see what the next person we encounter romantically is like. Not necessarily date them, but, you know, what are they like? We have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is something new. So definitely no one you've met before. This also means that we're in a new era of our life. We're in somewhere that we haven't experienced yet. So maybe we're at a new bar, or we're in a new community, or we're starting a new school, you know, whatever part of your life, or a new job, whatever part of your life you're in. Just know that it's actually something really exciting for you, because the Page of Wands is actually someone who is a dreamer. They're very passionate. They look forward to things with a lot of like hope and joy and in their heart. And so it does feel like more of a prosperous time for you, you know, a time where you're like, yeah, I got this. I can't wait to see what happens. You also have the High Priestess coming in, so this is their energy. Definitely Piscean, you know, water kind of energy. They don't have to be feminine. I don't know what you're attracted to, but this is someone who is very intuitive. This is somebody who's very magical. You know, they don't have to be a witch. They don't have to be into any kind of metaphysics, but they do have this kind of magnetism about them. They have this way of almost pulling people in, especially emotionally. They have a very big inner depth, and I also see them being pretty mysterious. So like, for example, you might find it difficult to approach them just because they seem yeah, they might come off a little bit quiet. So we have the Queen of Pentacles coming in. The good news is though, your idea of who they are is completely different from who they actually are. So you meet them and you're like, man, I get like they seem so mysterious. I don't know what they've done or what they've gone through. They seem a little bit too cool for me. I've never talked to someone like this before. But you talk to them, they're actually really chill. They're actually really down to earth. This is also an energy that they don't really get out much, because the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who really likes to sit back and relax, but they might come off as someone, like they might dress really creatively, or they might have this like look about them that they're extroverted, but really deep down, like, this is their first time they've been out in a while. They haven't really had this kind of outing in some time. They usually like to keep to themselves, and so I think it's really nice. I think that they're gonna be difficult to approach at first, but once you do, you really warm up to each other's energies, because they have this the Queen of Pentacles represents comfort and ease. So that's what I have for you, Nat. Thank you so much. I hope that you did enjoy it. Remember that you're never alone, and you are loved. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Hi there, Steph. Thank you so much for trusting me with your reading. I do hope it's worth the wait. Thank you for understanding. You said, hey, Ron, I'd love a reading on what I can expect in romance for the rest of the year. Thank you. You are amazing. Yeah, we can pull for that. I will remind you, I'm sure you heard me say it on stream too, that the future can change. We do a free will. So if you get a reading that you're like, man, I don't like that, you can do something about it, which is why I like to pull for what's going on for our challenge and the advice. And so let's see what we got coming in. I'm gonna pull for your energy, the focus, and the outcome, as well as the challenge and the advice. What do we got for Steph? Thank you, cards. Thank you, universe. Thank you, spirit. This is you. Ooh, the Ace of Pentacles, opportunity. I also see you putting in more of your energy towards love actually working for you. This is also a sign that we're planting the right seeds. Your focus is a Judgment card. I see you. I don't know if you pray. This can sometimes mean our prayers are being answered, or God is listening to us, or the universe. Or it can also mean understanding what you want on a soul level, because it is an epiphany moment, right? So maybe you're manifesting a soulmate. Maybe you're manifesting just deeper love, deeper attraction, more of a soul bond. And so I really like that. This is a really, really good start to your reading. We have your this is an envious reading, actually. A lot of people would wish that this was theirs. Your future is the Knight of Cups. This represents someone coming in with a love offer, right? So this means someone coming to love you, someone's trying to romance you. This is a Romeo card. And I'm not just saying this because, I'm trying to butter you up. This is actually what it means. And so, you can look it up. It's the Knight of Cups. This is someone who is very loving, they really cherish the arts. They also see the beauty in a lot of things. It could be a water sign. Usually, water, fire sign, because it is a night. We've got fire, we've got water. But definitely someone who takes action. This isn't someone who just like sits down and waits for someone to come to them. They're going after they're going after it. Your challenge, so someone pursuing you. We have your challenge being the Four of Cups. It is possible that maybe they're not quite your cup of tea, but I do think it'll be nice to actually see that, yeah, we are attractive, and yeah, there is opportunity, and people do like us. I think it'll just feel nice to kind of get the attention. And so if you do encounter someone in love and you're just not quite feeling the energy, just try to enjoy yourself. You don't have to go on a million dates with them. You don't have to keep talking to them. You'll be like, yeah, you're a nice guy, but I don't know. But and that's fine, right? Like, just be like, I had a lovely time. I don't think that you're not quite what I'm looking for, not quite the answer to my prayers, but I do like you. So we have your advice card being the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands represents someone who's very confident. So once again, just enjoying yourself. Someone who is focused on their passion, their own radiance, their own light. Know that the more that you tend to yourself, the more you're going to attract because of that inner radiance, right? Because you have light. It's like moths to a flame kind of energy. So they're telling you to just know that whatever you're doing the right thing. keep your prayers are being heard, being listened to. I don't know if you're in a relationship or not, right? Like, if you're in a relationship, I would read this completely differently. Maybe not completely differently. You're trying out new things, you're praying, you're manifesting. We have the Four of Cups. This also represents, you know, not having enough love or passion or fulfillment in our relationship. And in the future, the Knight of Cups, more love comes in, right? Like, our partner starts to love us more, or there's more opportunity to love, you know, stuff like that. Now, once again, if you are in a relationship, this advice card would be focus on yourself and you'll get what you want instead of trying to force somebody to do something for you. So, you know, it's like a hands down approach. Now, obviously, the Queen of Wands still puts herself in a place for people to find her if you are single. So, you know, this is trying some apps if you like it. This is going out and going to bars or parties or going to events, or maybe talking to that cute person at the dog park, you know, stuff like that. Just making friends, and when your friends invite you, go. It's saying yes to opportunities, but because you enjoy it, not because like you're necessarily trying like really fiending for a partner. But if it happens, it happens. It's nice too. So that's what I have. You know, the Queen of Wands is also the life of the party. Actually, let's see who we're attracting next. Because once again, I don't know if you're single, but if you are trying to like meet somebody, let's see what we got. Ooh, Venus. We've got Venus energy, so that's perfect for this. You know, Venus is about love, passion, pleasure. We also have Scorpio energy that's also in alignment with this. So we've got some water energy coming in, and the 5th house. And the 5th house is about self-expression, fun, creativity. That's this energy, you know, the Queen of Wands, enjoying yourself. So once again, I do see you just having a moment where like, you know, you like me, how flattering. I like that. And if you're in a relationship, this is going on more dates, you know, this is asking for flowers and getting it, or like maybe not asking, but you know, I don't know, I feel like we have to be more subtle. As somebody who's been in relationships where they don't try too much, I noticed that I would just like leave subliminals, and usually they'd pick up on it. Because once you have to ask, it kind of ruins it. But that's what we have for you, Steph. I hope that you enjoyed that. Look out for this kind of really emotional, someone who is very in-depth energy, and I hope that you enjoyed that. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Thank you. Bye-bye.